week for the Eels. It was their mighty under-13 side. They played the Medway Dragons down in Kent, and I'll read this how it's written actually because it's better than what I'm saying. So Aaron said they saw the mighty under-13s head over to Kent and slay the Medway Dragons by 30 points to 16.
I like it.
What a way to spend St George's Day, eh? This victory sees the under-13s remain top of the table, unbeaten in the league.
Fantastic. Well, good work there down in Brentwood. Right, that's the world of Rugby League well and truly covered. Let's bring you our predictions now for round 13 of Super League. Okay, round 13, some big fixtures coming up now, and they're all starting to matter a little bit as the league takes more shape. Thursday night, my birthday, sees Warrington take on Wigan. That's a good little present for me to come home and watch over at the Halliwell Jones mark. I'm assuming you're going to pick a Wigan win, but...
Yeah, we can win any game, can't we?
You can on paper, yeah, I'll give you that. You can. I mean, this season has proven more than any that anyone can win any game.
Yeah.
Hull KR have proven that. Wakefield have proven that, but... Warrington's performance against their local rivals last week, stacked up against your performance against Huddersfield, tells me that Warrington, at home, with these lads playing like they're capable of doing, should have more than enough to see you off. I just think, in terms of points, they're going to outdo you. Your industry and your work in defence notwithstanding, I just don't see Wigan scoring enough points against Warrington to come out with a victory. So I'm going 32 points to 16 in favour of the Wire.
I have a feeling our attack will improve this week. I think we're going to get a couple more players back that'll help us in that regard, and the forwards that are coming back, I mean, when Benny Flower came back last week, he had a good game. Don Crosby came back the week before, had a good game, didn't play last week though. But maybe we'll have a couple of injuries because Tao Tai and Club both went off injured. I'm not sure how they'll shape up for Thursday, but there's getting more pieces together in the Wigan side. But the bigger news is that potentially O'Loughlin and or Williams will be back.
All right.
So that's good news for
that
the attack.
That will have a positive impact, won't it?
You would think. And I just think Warrington didn't come up against a defensive outfit in Widnes, I think, than the likes of which they're going to come up against this week, I would say. So on that basis, we can win.
There you go. Well, we shall see.
I'm going to go 30 points to 22, but I always pick Wigan to win, don't I?
Yeah.
I'll be there anyway.
You do? Good stuff. Okay, Huddersfield...
Did you give your score? Yeah, you did.
Yeah, 32-16. Huddersfield take on Leeds on Friday night then in a basement clash.
Bottom two
take each other on down at the John Smiths Stadium.
Who'd have thought?
I've not been able to pick a winner. This one, I've gone back and forth on this all day today, and I'm just based on the performance, even though in defeat last week against St Helens, Leeds let a lot of points in. There was marked improvement.
Yeah.
Whereas for Huddersfield, I don't see as much of an uptick. In their performance against you in defeat was worse than Leeds' was against St Helens. I think things are starting to get a bit more normal. Leeds are progressing and developing. Huddersfield a stop-start for me. I'm going to go with an away win, 20 points to 12 in favour of the Leeds Rhinos. 10 to 10, it's tentative.
I think me watching the games, I feel better about Leeds than I feel about Huddersfield.
Yeah.
Probably because of Anderson at the end of the game last week with his sour grapes. But it's kind of like what I want to happen is more edged me in this one. Because like you say, it was difficult to pick exactly who would win.
Yeah.
I just think there's more exciting players at the moment in this Leeds side with the way the young players are starting to throw it about a bit. I'm assuming Zach Hardacre will be able to play, but I don't know.
I think there's nothing about his concussion. He got a bit of a cut to his head, hasn't he?
Yeah.
But I've not seen anything about concussion since he did the concussion test, and they did the right thing by not bringing him back on against Saints.
So I'm going to go Leeds 24-16, but it could go either way, and that's the great thing about Super League this year.
Yeah. That is it. Okay, another game that could go either way sees Hull FC take on the Catalan Dragons this weekend, Mark. Two very exciting forward packs collide at the KCOM Stadium.
Yeah, I think there's a significant player missing though in that forward pack for Hull FC in their captain Gareth Ellis.
Yeah.
I think that could make a difference if the chips go against them.
Yeah.
It's really tough to pick. Again, another one, isn't it? And these two basically the top four all play each other this weekend. And with Salford's point deduction, the bottom four all play each other this weekend as well. But yeah. I'll edge it to Catalan just because I think they're slightly better form at the moment. So I'm going to go 28-20 to the Dragons.
Right. I think a Catalan Dragons win, and I actually think by a broader margin as well. Look, Catalan are on franchise best form at the moment, and they're winning away from home. Hull FC had kind of, I don't know, I'm not say hit and miss because they're doing very well, but I think Catalan are more consistent. Certainly, form bears that out, and I just think their pack is probably as exciting as these two packs coming together. I think Catalan's pack is stronger for Hull FC missing people like Gaz Ellis and what have you. So, all things being equal, I think Catalan have got the better, they've got the better halves as well to move them around the pitch. Leon Price, not the force he once was for a long time now. Yeah, Catalan Dragons 20 points to 14.
One other thing to mention though in this is Pat Richards hasn't been kicking great, has he?
No.
So if it's a close game,
so he's got 28.
That might come to it because Mark Sneyd has been kicking pretty good.
I've got Pat Richards missing one kick.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Winners take on Wakefield then.
Or missing 4, and they're going to.
Oh well, yeah, true, maybe. Yeah, okay, but Catalan are capable of scoring that number of tries. Winners take on Wakefield then at the Select Security Stadium. Winners battered the week before, both teams coming off defeats, pretty heavy defeats, pretty demoralising defeats. The score I'm going for was 22 points to 14. It could go either way.
Yeah,
I don't see it being of the highest quality. No. I mean, I was inclined to change my pick when I've discovered via you the number of injuries that Widnes have picked up again this week, like people like Kevin Brown and Chris Bridge, and I presume that's why you're going to go. If I'm guessing, you're going to go a different way based on that. But Widnes at home, close game between two scrappy sides. Let's say, Vikings 22 points to 14.
The 2016 bounce back rule can't apply because both of them needs to bounce back.
Yeah.
So it's made it harder to pick. I think crunch time has come at the Select Security Stadium, and what that must mean is the Cookie Monster has to dig deep and take things back to basics. Mm-hmm. We're talking chocolate chip, no frosting, no Smarties in it. We're just talking, just standard chocolate chip here.
Is that even not too decadent a biscuit? Do we not need a digestive?
But it's the Cookie Monster in it, so.
Well, yeah. Okay.
It's just going to go and buy some Maryland's from the B&M. It's not going to have
Not sure where you go with this. It's go on. Keep going. I'm enjoying it, but
basically, I think Widnes are going to go back to being more.
Do you think everyone's got 2-year deals now and they just don't give a shit?
No, I think that.
Do you think it's like, well,
I think that maybe they've missed a lot of training because they've all been really busy getting deals. But now that's all sorted out, they need to get the shit together again.
Knuckle down.
And I just think they're going to put in a tougher performance. Yeah. And I think both sides can go blow for blow with each other on that basis if the Widnes players buy into that back to basics approach that I think Betts needs to put over to them at this point.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to go 24-22. I'm going to give it to Widnes, but it could go either way.
There you go. Salford take on Hull KR this weekend. Two sides again that they weren't beaten at the weekend. Forgive me. Hull KR coming off the back of a massive victory over the Castleford Tigers, and Salford will be keen to make amends for their close defeat in the south of France. I don't think Hull KR are going to be consistent enough to get the result. I think Salford at home are a much different proposition than they have been in recent years. I'm going 30 points to 20 in favour of the Red Devils.
Yeah,
but it could be 100 points to 0 in favour of Hull.
I think similar to you. I think a big thing, what depends on this, is the atmosphere in the Salford club that their owner might create or not create this week with how he carries himself after the news of today.
Good point.
And I think if they can use that as a motivating factor, because he's clearly got a close bond with his players until he doesn't, and. You wonder if when he's seen his arse about stuff, he lets other things slip. I'm just hoping that won't be what happens. I think because I don't want Salford to fall by the wayside because of the points deduction. I want them to rise up against it. I want them to show heart and determination and grit, something that I don't really feel Salford have shown for a long time, maybe since Carl Harrison days. And on that basis, I'm going to give them a win, 32 points to 24, but it could go either way, like you say.
Finally, okay, good stuff. Final game of the weekend sees the Castleford Tigers take on St Helens. Castle will be wanting to make amends for their second half capitulation against the Robins, while St Helens will be looking to continue an uptick in their performances following a win over Leeds. I'm going for a St Helens win, Mark. I liked what I saw in attack from St Helens, even though there was some defensive lapses, and they brought back some, there's some good talent coming back into this squad that's got a week's worth of matches in its legs now. 36 points to 18 in favour of the Saints.
I'm going to go for a bounce back Castleford performance. I think we've seen a lot of these this year, so I think that's what we're going to see again. There's going to be a lot of points in this one, I'm guessing. That's what I'm throwing out there. 38-24 in favour of the home side. I think some of the positional switches that they made for the weekend, they'll undo, and they'll put Solomona back on the wing, and they'll maybe put Hampshire back at full back, where he's less exposed to larger men running at him. Because if you're expecting Hampshire to defend that right edge against Joe Greenwood running at him,
it's not going to happen.
I think it's not going to work out great for the Castleford Tigers. But if you have him at full back and let him run around in some space, I think some of those big units from the St Helens side that have been missing tackles in the middle might find themselves exposed a little bit to his pace. So I think some of those swaps will have to be made by the Castleford side, but I'm sure Darryl Powell will get it right and they will win.
The other thing to keep in mind for Castleford is that they're going to be more than likely missing Andy Lynch as well. He's up in front of the beak this week.
I haven't seen anything about him getting a ban. So
oh, right, maybe not then.
Yeah, whereas I've seen that thing he has.
Okay, maybe not then.
But obviously we haven't been paying massive
great attention to the podcast for the last few hours because we've been recording it. Okay, right. Loads of games this weekend, loads of action, and if you want to keep in touch with what's been going on in and around Super League, our friends at SL Clubs will have you covered, tweeting results and score updates from all this weekend's fixtures. Championship game of the week, Mark.
London Bradford, only one way to go, second against third.
Yeah, I was
first game without your old buddy, Jimmy Lowes, and it's going to be an interesting, and it's a real test of both teams' credentials. I think if Bradford lose this game, it could have a significant marker on whether they can finish in the top two. And if London lose this game, it might start to make them question themselves, and similarly have a knock-on effect to whether they can finish in the top two. And it's those top two places are crucial for the extra home game. Thinking more long term in the middle eights, and you hope both these sides will make the middle eights with the way they've gone through the first half of the season.
No, I agree. This game couldn't have come at a worse time. If it's a transitional period when you're using an interim coaching team, then coming up against a team that's above you in the league and on the form that London are on.
It's a coaching team that's already been there, though.
But there's upheaval and there's changes afoot at Bradford, so that's unsettling and unnerving for the players. And London are playing very, very well at the minute. My heart always says Bulls to win. My heart always wants them to win, but my head says that London might sneak this.
I'm going to go with the home side. I think they're going to win, probably in a close one, probably by 1 to 4 points.
I don't think it'll be that exciting. I think London could probably do it by 10 or 12.
Fair enough.
Their performance against us in the corresponding fixture at Odsall over Easter leads me to believe that if they can get their errors right, if they can get their error count down low, they were more than likely coming away with the spoils. League One game of the week then, Mark.
I've spotted Hunslet at Doncaster. They're the two relegated teams, aren't they, from last year?
Yes.
So that should be an interesting one down there. I think probably Doncaster have maybe had... it's a tough one to call because Hunslet I don't think have had a great start to the season.
No.
But Doncaster don't seem to be convincing many people in many games.
Disciplinary issues as well at Doncaster.
So we'll see how that goes. But probably give it to the home side because that's where we normally go with these games if we're not sure.
I like Hunslet.
I'm not bothered about
that. Got a soft spot for them. Okay, what in the NRL has caught your attention this week?
Well, I think it's about time that I sort of shout out people to watch Jammers Bulldogs because I don't necessarily enjoy watching them play, and I think Reynolds in the half is a right little bitch. But Graham's been putting in some massive performances, and we should appreciate what we've got in that player from an English point of view. So Eels versus Bulldogs on Friday, Panthers versus Raiders on Saturday. See if Dally M in waiting, Josh Hodgson, keeps up his form. I can't imagine he won't.
How tremendous will it be? Has an Englishman ever won the Dally M before? Carter?
I'm not aware of it happening. I don't think it has. No, I mean Gareth Ellis obviously won Club Player of the Year awards for every year he was at the Tigers, apart from his